Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Stretford Paddock. I'm Adam McCullough here with your morning news now. I've got my face is still a bit messed up, so I do apologise if I'm slurring and lisping and all these kind of different things stitched up in my face. I feel like Kanye West in Through the Wire right now. But we're going to keep plugging away. Yes, we are. We're going to keep pushing, and we've got plenty of news to get stuck into revolving Manchester United's takeover and the potential takeover with the soft deadline the end of this week for any bids to come in, and we'll also look ahead to Manchester United's trip to Barcelona. Now Jay was supposed to be doing this news, but he's on his flight to Barcelona this morning, because that lucky sod gets to go out there and be in Barcelona for the game. Myself and Joe will be on the watch along, watching with you guys from home if you're not at the game. So make sure you're joining us for that as well. You know where to find us. The link's in the description if you want to subscribe to the show. Press that red button down there and all that. But yeah, let's get stuck into the stories that we've got here today. UEFA sources, according to Mike Keegan and Sami Mokbel, have reported. UEFA's sources have disclosed that there is not going to be any problem with the Qatari bid, which is being worked on around the clock ahead of the Friday 10 p.m. deadline imposed by investment bank Rain, who are overseeing the sale for Manchester United. Now, we have obviously heard that you've got the Qatar Investment Committee and the Qatari Sports Investments, or something like that, QSI and QIC. Now, maybe a little bit wrong on the initials, but there's those two groups. Now, the Sports Investment Group of Qatar own Paris Saint-Germain. Now, the Investment Committee, QIC, they want to take over Manchester United. Now, UEFA are happy that there's clear separation and there'll be clear separate running for the club of both clubs. There won't be the same people running the clubs. But the head of state would be owning Manchester United and PSG. QSI is a subsidiary of QIC. They are linked and they are both part of the state. So as much as all these guys will want to say, oh, well, actually, it's this business and it's this business, and the Emir in this instance is just an individual, it's not. And we'd basically be owned by the same people, it'd just be shifted around into different companies. So that's where that one is at the moment. And Qatar are looking like the favourites. They're going to have the most money. Whilst they might not say publicly, and they've been saying they'll go up to 5 billion or something, 4.5 billion or something, whilst they won't come out publicly and say they'll pay whatever, they'll be the highest bidders. If someone gazumps them, they'll go over the top and bid above them. We also hear Jim Ratcliffe's bid to buy Manchester United will not exceed 4 billion plus incentives. The offer from the Emir Al Thani will be higher than that of the owner of Ineos. Again, you look at Ineos, they could be potentially putting a load of debt onto Ineos, the company. And people say, well, it's coming off United and it's going on to Ineos. But that debt still needs to be serviced somewhere. And whilst for some companies it's good to have debt on the books, it helps with tax purposes and things like that, eventually that debt's going to be due. And what if they're not in a position to pay it? Manchester United are going to have to be. We're also hearing a lot of these stories coming out now, prepping us for the bid, a little bit of PR for the bidders, all those kind of things. And we've heard a load of stories about the Emir Al Thani of Qatar saying he's a big Manchester United fan, they're the club of his heart, that he loves British. We're just going to hear everything at the moment from everybody. They're all putting their PR out there in order to get their bids through and also get the public backing and the public support for their bids as well. Now, me personally, I've said this many times before, I don't want to be state-owned. It does feel like we're going that way, and we will end up being state-owned because I can't see anybody beating these guys. But also, you look at the other options, Ineos and that debt. I'm not comfortable with that. Elon Musk has been linked with the club. I wouldn't want him anywhere near the club. You look at where his wealth and things come from as well. You're seeing a lot of these names and you're like, there's so many reasons why you wouldn't want each individual one. And I get people going to me, oh, Mac, just shut up then and get 5 billion if you're not going to be happy. I don't have to be happy with whoever, do you know what I mean? Of course, I want them to run the club and put football first and put the club first and all those kind of things. But also, it is important who owns you. And being state-owned ain't a good look. Because then you're always linked to that state, whether good or bad. Let's say you were linked to the American state, the British state. Every time they do something, you're going to get pulled into the frame for that. They own you. Do you know what I mean? And the same with the Qatari state. And whatever issues that they have going on, we're going to get used to cover those things up. That's just the way it goes. But yeah, we're in a precarious position at the moment. I love the fact that the Glazers are going, but I'm worried about where we end up and what Manchester United looks like in the future. I'll always be there watching the club, watching games and all those kind of things. I was there when the Glazers, I had a decision to make when the Glazers came. I decided to stay. Like, I'll always be a fan, regardless of who's in the board of directors or who's in the shirt or who's Manchester United striker or goalkeeper or manager or owner. I don't care. I support Manchester United. I want to be there. But yeah, it's not great, is it? And I know some of you think completely different to me. So sorry if I've taken the fun out of this situation for you, but I'm just not feeling it. Andy Cole and Dwight York are the only players to have scored for Manchester United against Barcelona at the Nou Camp. Yes, the last time United scored in the Nou Camp was that goal against Bayern Munich, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to win 2-1 on the 26th of May 1999. But to score against Barcelona, it was in that 3-3 draw at the Nou Camp. And that was the last time we actually scored there against Barcelona in a game. If you remember when we won the Champions League in 2008, Ronaldo missed a penalty in a 0-0 draw. So hopefully things will be a little bit better. Remember that chance that Rashford had the last time we played there in the Cup of Hope? If he gets a chance like that, he scores it. And I was talking to Joe in Uncensored about this game, and he seems to be really nervous about it. I seem to be really laid back about it. I don't know if it's because it's the Europa League and it doesn't quite get the nerves going like the Champions League, but we're a good team. They're a good team. Let's see what they got, you know what I mean? I think we can do something there. Obviously, you're missing a few players, but bring them back to Old Trafford with a good result, and I fancy we'll beat them. So yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're keeping it liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that jazz. As I said, we've got the watch along tomorrow, myself and Joe, and we'll have another guest on there. Jay's over there as well, so we'll have some bits from Barcelona. Keep it locked, and I'll see you soon.